That's a Shame is brought to you by the people who support us over at patreon.com/shamecity.
If you have $1,
$2.
$1 to spare, join us again at patreon.com/shamecity.
Hello and welcome to the Spooktacular 2020. Hope you're feeling pretty darn spooked on this, the 1st of November, the day after Halloween. We have an unofficial bylaw in the task book which says that if, normally we have a Spooktacular on the 31st, but if it falls on a Saturday and the normal episode date is a Sunday, then it just carries over to the Sunday. You might not have known that, but that's kind of on you for not looking into that in advance. So this is perfectly normal and good, what we are doing here today. My name's Isaac, by the way, and I'm doing great. How are you, co-host Delk?
I'm Declan, not Delkin.
Well, that's a nickname.
Very much Declan.
That's a little nickname
I'm doing okay, although I'm back to work bright and early tomorrow.
Yes, and you're going to be...
Where the Rona can't get me.
You're going to be enjoying the
Rona
lockdown
can't get me.
At home, I imagine.
It is impossible to contract the coronavirus if you are in a school or on a train or anywhere where you're getting to or from those things.
Teaching is a sacred profession, and for me, the reason it's sacred is because you get that magic spell that means you cannot get a virus.
And that will be why
cast upon you.
They're so well respected, teachers.
Yeah, well respected, well paid, well compensated, and well alive, may I say. There are no dead teachers.
Very many.
How was your Halloween? Particularly spooky, was it?
I was spookily miserable.
That's pretty nifty.
And I did that thing where I go to bed early, but then I am awake until 4 anyway.
Cool. So it's just sort of like you're depressed.
Well, people put labels on things all the time. But I don't want to put too fine a point on it.
Yeah, no, that is pretty spooky. Mine was a more traditional, I guess.
Yeah, you were doing some spooky gamage.
I was hunting ghosts. I was talking to Jack the Halloween Czar. There was a whole bunch of stuff.
I'll tell you how low mood I was yesterday. This is spooky, isn't it? I ordered some food.
Yeah.
And I got a drink with it. Yeah. And then I thought, I'm going to get a drink for my buddy Isaac.
Oh, yeah.
And by the time it turned up, I was like, fuck Isaac.
Whoa.
I'm going to have two
drinks.
2 peppers to myself.
That's crazy.
I know. Well, you sounded like you were getting totally haunted up in here, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Spooky. If you'd come in, I would have been terrified.
Well, there you go.
I did keep looking behind me just to check what was going on, because when the ghosts are in the game, that would be the perfect time for them to get you in real life, I always think.
That's true. Enough of this.
Yeah. This week we've got something pretty special, and it's really a conglomeration of concepts from across the Halloween board.
Yeah.
A deep and broad variety of beautiful ideas, each of them their own little Halloween gem that we've amalgamated
through the month,
through the year, really. Well, through our whole lives in many ways.
They've been leading up to this
episode is the culmination of a combined, how old are you, 30?
I'm 26, you're 32.
So that's a combined 50 years of Hallow experience between us. A truly depressing statistic when you think of it in those regards, even as I lowered the actual years down. We are going to be inhabiting the Imagino space of a kind of carnival atmosphere. And although I didn't prepare any bed music, I invite you, dear listener, to just imagine your own, because I can't do everything. Okay, so just imagine that the remainder of this episode is underscored by all of the ambient sounds of a carnival.
Yep.
Maybe the, what was his name? The Magic Charles or something?
Oh, the Magnificent Charles.
From
I am the Magnificent Charles.
Yeah, and that weird music that was playing underneath that. You can just plant that in your own head. That's something that you can do. I'm empowering you to do
It's future time. Time, future.
If you haven't listened to The Return, now's a great time to revisit. Very spooky stuff.
An hour of pure art.
Absolute genius. All across the board. So, in we dive, why don't we?
Oh, hang on. They're going to hear Charles, aren't they? They're going to be a little bit of Charles.
You mean right now?
Yeah.
No, I didn't put it in.
Oh, okay.
I am the clown with the tearaway face. Here in a flash and gone without a trace.
I did put it in.
Oh.
I did put it in. Welcome to Part 1. We haven't really thought about how this is split up, so this is just not really a part 1. I'm just going to start reading now.
Just
but
go.
I want you to know that this is my reading voice. Hello. Turning off the big freeway in your 1975 car, you can't quite remember which one of your idiot pals suggested hitting up the Carnival for Halloween, but you're pretty sure you won't be taking any of their recommendations very seriously in future. This place looks more like a travelling car park than any kind of entertainment destination. Bummer! You roll effortlessly out of your contemporary vehicle and adjust the calico ghoul costume, which family legend says 12 generations of your ancestors spent hours toiling over as a way to distract themselves from loveless marriages. Patting your back pocket to check that your at-home printed ticket is where it should be, you stride boldly towards the entrance and just 20 minutes later find yourself confronted with the first attraction. Normally the Hall of Mirrors is boring and offensive nonsense. A kind of sick portrait gallery with the unifying theme of body dysmorphia, but this one seems quite a lot different. Welcome to the Hall of Mirrors, a place of capital R reflection.
Goodness.
Screams a voice. Together we will find out what kind of trick-or-treater you are via the medium of a deceptively simple-seeming quiz.
Ooh.
That person left the room now, so I can adopt a more normal voice.
Oh.
Bye, you say.
Bye.
So it's a quiz, I guess.
Oh, that's cool.
All of a sudden it
Probably
was a quiz.
the only one in this episode.
I can't
would
imagine
wager.
that there'd be more than one, because that, to me, would seem lazy and derivative of our previous quiz-heavy content. 1. It's Halloween Eve and you're hitting the Commerce District for supplies. But wait, aren't you forgetting something? No. I need you to keep track of your A's, C's and D's here.
I'm going to do that.
Do it on your lappy tea.
I did mean to get a bit of paper
That's
and pen.
fine. You can do it in your
because
memory
I need
if
to
you
do
need.
it. No, I can't.
Okay. A. Not a chance. Rememberies is my middle name. B. Oh God, I can't believe I nearly forgot my infant son Largo. C. I forgot that my family household loathes Halloween and will not do a celebration of it. Or D. I simply forgot to boil the Halloween meats. Which one would it be?
Well, I'm intrigued if I can by option B.
With reference to your infant son Largo.
Well, it's not the infant son Largo. It's the fact that I almost forgot him when I thought I'd already gone and had forgotten him.
Yes, that is
So
interesting.
have I forgotten him, or
It's a really interesting point you make, and one that you may think was unintentional, but actually is very layered. And as you select B,
okay.
you're going to see how that evolves over.
yeah?
course of the
I
remaining
did
55
almost
costumes.
forget my infant son Largo. Largo, he's my large infant son.
He's actually tiny. Now that's a surprising element of Largo.
Largo, because you would think
It's the small mini son. Yeah.
that's weird.
Question 2. You're speeding on down to the Halloween outlets to line your pockets with spooking delights to share with the neighbours and their ghostly progeny. What's keeping your mind occupied on the 6 1/3 hour round trip? A. I'm listening to an album of nasty haiku written by white nationalists for, quote, research purposes.
Right nationalists.
White nationalists.
Oh, okay.
But yes, that as well.
No.
B. I'm swerving an awful lot, but only when the traffic is quite moderate. That's just a way of keeping yourself occupied, I guess.
Yeah, you sometimes, as a driver myself, I remember in the past, sometimes you just duck left and right.
Yeah.
Sometimes fast and slow.
C. I'm playing the 2003 PlayStation 2 classic Enter the Matrix, which, although not critically acclaimed, did manage to sell well over 1 million copies in the first 18 days of its release. Or D. I'm remembering with regret all of the times my small son Largo maimed the small animals.
I don't look upon that with regret so much, because
fair enough.
he's a troubled
He's his own
boy,
guy.
and you've got to sometimes take these things on the chin.
And every kid has to have a hobby, right?
I tell you what I was doing. I was playing 2003's not critically acclaimed but pretty well selling Enter the Matrix PlayStation 2.
Nice, while driving.
Yeah, well, it's like in between stops, like.
Why are you stopping so
what I
much?
should say is during the stops, not in between. In
Oh,
between
wow,
stops,
that's the driving.
I very much am driving.
And so what, is it controlled with the steering wheel?
No, I'm
pedal.
just whipping it out.
What, when you say it?
Well, what Largo on the seat next to me,
A PlayStation 2.
he's holding a screen.
Oh.
The
That's
PlayStation
quite
is
a
on the
painful
floor.
neck angle on the left.
Is on the floor. Yeah, he's holding it there. He's just holding it while I'm driving.
This is a good boy, Largo.
Yeah, and then tucked under his arm, he's got the controller. And then when we come to a stop, I just pop the screen behind the steering
How
wheel.
often are you stopping?
quite often it's. I think there's a lot
That's
of people
why it's
going
so
to
long,
this store.
the journey.
Yeah,
It's actually only 10 minutes away.
but
You won't crack him 6 hours 20.
I'm doing a speed run.
And Largo, he doesn't mind. It's not a 2-player game, I don't think.
Well, this is his punishment for the last mainage that he did.
That's good. That's good parenting. That's responsible. You've arrived at Weens R Us, one of the top 5 cheapest Halloween stores in the county.
Wow.
What do you rush to first? A. I rush to the bones aisle to replenish my stock of novelty fibia. Got to keep up with the Joneses. B. I'll be buying the entire collection of Goo and Gunge for reasons I'm not at liberty to divulge. C. A fresh young pumpkin on which my dangerous son Largo can practice his scalpel work. Or D. I rush to the exit to go home empty-handed. Which one are you feeling?
Well, if it were not one of the top 5 cheapest Halloween stores in the county, I would probably be going D. There, but I'm not for the time being.
Because I guess in for a penny, in for a pound, right?
We've spent 6.5 hours getting here. May as well. I may as well do. I may as well stock up on the old bones. I am going.
Okay.
I'm making a beeline for the bone aisle.
Yes, we've got to stand. Question 4. On your drive back, you notice that there's an old lady lying across the back seats of your pristine vehicle. Pretty weird, right? A. That is pretty weird. B. Stranger things have happened. C. That lady is little Largo's aging wet nurse, sleeping off another bosom bothering from my steely-eyed baby boy.
Oh, dear.
D. No comment.
What is he doing to this poor woman's tit?
Which one are you going with there?
It's gonna have to be A.
Well,
that is weird.
that's a truthful
Yeah.
reflection of
I was kind of stunned. It's also a comment from me on the rest of the options.
Fair. Question 5. This is the final one.
Oh, okay, God.
You get home to find that, oh no, the house has burnt to a big brown crisp. Everything you own is dead now. Bummer. Bummer is a theme in this because we've said it twice. It's a bit. I was trying to capture that kind of fun, like West Coast vibe.
Yeah.
Where you're like, bummer.
Ouchies.
they love to say stuff like that.
Weird.
Do you, A, take this one on the chin? Some people have it worse after all. B, search the wreckage of your warm house embers to see if wife Maud made it out alive. C,
Maud.
pick through the rubble until you find that ever-elusive perfect skimming stone, book a flight to the Great Lakes and let her rip. That was a skimming noise. Or D, turn around slowly, knowing that your tiny son Largo will be watching from the safety of the pavement with the same empty expression you saw in his old beyond their years blue eyes when Mrs. Carmichael's teenage son lost his right arm in the community pool. Which of those will it be?
The skimming stone is insured, so
It's pretty fun, that would be.
It is fun, but it's insured, and I think I can probably get a new one.
But you get a holiday out of it, probably to the Great Lakes.
Yeah, I could.
Superior.
But I don't need to go searching through the warm embers for
Windermere. Not traditionally one of the Great Lakes.
No.
It's one of
It's one of the greatest
yeah,
lakes.
It's a good lake. It's a top lake.
Small G greatest.
Yeah. So which is it going to be? And think carefully because this is your last choice. Let me just recap. You've gone.
I've gone BDAA.
No, BCAA.
I'm pretty sure I went for D, didn't I? What was option?
PlayStation Matrix was C.
BCAA.
Oh, so yes. This one could see you. Well, you could end up tying 2 A's and 2 B's or 2 C's, or you could just go fully in on that A.
Option A was to just take it on the chin, and I don't
it's quite
think
a passive option.
I don't think I can do that.
You don't seem like in the fiction of this quiz the kind of person who takes things sitting down, because you saw that old dead lady that Largo had killed in the car, and you thought that is weird. You didn't think that's normal.
I didn't think
and
she was dead. I thought that she was just lying there.
I think that was implied. I think the subtext.
Well, one of the
was
options was that she was just sort of asleep.
Yeah, but in that sleep of death.
Oh, what dreams may come of Largo's steely-eyed. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be B. I am going to have to look for Maud. I can't I can't leave her behind.
You're a family man.
And honestly, I can't go spending the rest of the day with Largo.
You won't make it out alive.
I need someone else
like the Carmichael boy.
Take armless and alone.
As you finish answering that final question, you realise with a start that you're back outside the tent.
Oh.
What? You think? You mean I don't get to find out what kind of Halloween guy I am or whatever that quiz was about? You don't vocalise this thought, so it never gets the answer which I think we can all agree it did deserve. Internally cursing your cowardice, you trudge glumly on to the next spectacle. End of section.
Wow.
That's part 1.
That is part 1.
What have we got next, Delk?
Let's have a little look. You take a step further into the carnival and suddenly you hear a booming voice. Hello. Roll up, step right up and try your arm at the hottest game in town. So good, there's no generally accepted name for it, so we're just calling it the Ball Toss Cup Drop Challenge.
Hot.
You, sir, you look like you've got biceps to spare. Why don't you have a go? Just take this ball here and lob it at that pile of cups over there. The more you knock down, the more likely you are to progress to the next round.
This is the sound of a real ball of paper, listeners, that the carnival man handed me.
Well prepared I is.
Yeah.
Give it a launch.
What am I throwing?
Just throw it, lad. Probably at the cups.
Oh, I missed. I hit the... Yeah,
you hit over 2, it looks like.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
That's a good throw.
Don't ask me how, don't ask me why.
Well, it'll be my aim.
Probably will not be the aim. Probably will be that the game is rigged.
Oh,
now, sir, what you have unlocked for the chance to win a special prize is the secondary game that not many have played before.
Is this like on a fruit machine when you get some weird combination and then like the top of it lights up and you're suddenly playing snakes and ladders or something?
Yeah.
Or it never explains how
No. It is mostly still just gambling.
And by the time you've worked out what's going on,
it's eaten 100 of your finest pound coins.
Sad, isn't it?
No, this is a real game, sir.
Okay.
Now, the point scoring will not be obvious to you.
You can explain it if you want.
No, it would take too much time.
Is there a
plus,
rule book?
No, there's not. It's a bit like doing the knowledge. It take too long. Okay. I've had to train for years for this, but we're going to play this 3 rounds to this game.
Okay, fairy tale structure.
What's going to happen is thus. You are going to take from the first cup you knocketh down.
Ah, there's stuff in them.
Yeah, there's 3 sheets of paper in each.
Didn't they fall out when I knocked it over?
No, it's very well designed, this game.
That's cool.
So in the first cup, you will find the names of some horror movie classics.
Okay, I don't watch movies.
That's good. That will stand you in good stead to win very few points. In the second cup, you will find 3 completely different genres. And it will be your job to win points. Not horror. Not horror. There we go.
Okay.
Your job to reimagine the former as the latter in order to win the sacred prize.
That's quite a severe prize by the sounds of it.
Oh, it is.
And how much is this costing me to take part in?
You've already paid, sir.
Oh, fuck.
So don't you worry.
I didn't know. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
well, I guess in I go.
Let's go. Off you go. Cup number 1.
Right, I've got my piece of paper. And what do I do? Read it?
Just have a little read of it out. What does it say?
The Shining.
The Shining. A classic, you'll agree, sir, even if you're not a fan.
And I've got Pixar. So, remind me the concept. I need to just think in my head what it'd be like if The Shining was made by Pixar.
Not in the head.
That's importantly, cool. I've thought of it.
Importantly,
it's the same, but there's a lamp at
importantly, it is out loud, or else it would be impossible for me to judge your point scoring.
Well, the thing about Pixar movies is that the character development is so precise throughout, and they really trace an emotional arc. And I don't think that just now I'd be able to come up with a new character to do the job. And for that reason, I think Woody is Jack Nicholson. I think that much is clear as day.
That's
Danny
nice.
is going to be Wally. That's also clear to me. And Wendy, now this is a bit of a curveball.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It is Mike Wazowski. So Mike and Woody are in
They do bubble over good scream.
They're in a lovely marriage, and there is fucking, and it produced a robot. And the one thing that The Shining doesn't delve into is really
that is, Danny's if I may say, sir, spooky.
Well, it will be. And so we'll probably have 12 to 15 minutes of the beginning of the film showing how, like, just the logistics of how Mike, who doesn't have a dick, do you remember seeing a dick in that film?
I don't know.
He doesn't have a dick, and it's not like
I don't remember seeing one on Woody either.
No, well, Woody.
Now, an important question here, and this could score or lose you many points. Woody, is he Jack Nicholson sized now, or is he still less than half a foot?
Yeah, he is. At different points in the movie, he's different sizes. It's like the ring in Lord of the Rings, where it changes sizes depending on.
Now it didn't change size too drastically.
At some points, it was like a Zorb.
No, like the cave troll didn't try it on.
Legolas had it as a belt briefly, and then Gandalf was hula hooping.
What's the range of sizes we're talking for Woody?
Sometimes he will be the size of Woody the toy. Mm-hmm. Sometimes smaller, actually. It'll be the size of a pencil sharpener.
Oh God!
Sharpening, not sharpener. And sometimes the exact proportions of Jack Nicholson.
Right.
It's kind of a deep fake thing, I think. So it's not just like a big... Because if you go to Disney...
Hang on a minute. Let me just consult the manual to see if we can use that technology.
Do they have deep fakes in there? Up in there yet or no? I know a guy who...
We can, but unfortunately, Mike Wazowski, we can't get Billy Crystal into the voice if we're doing the budget. You sure?
Hey!
Oh!
Hey, Solly, where are you at?
You're winning some scary points there, sir.
That's pretty
for
good,
sure. Now, what is because to my understanding, the Pixar movies, they often have a sort of a
moral.
A nice moral that's neatly tied up, and they are indeed usually PG at most.
Yeah, this one won't be PG, I guess.
That was
because
clear
the
from
audience
the
has grown up. Right, so we want this to appeal to people.
What is your moral going to be? What's their time at the Overlook?
If I think about The Shining in its original conception, I would say I sort of struggle a little bit to think about what the moral is. Is it maybe about the way in which like mental illness is vaguely hereditary? That's possibly the take from The Shining and Doctor Sleep combined.
Right.
Or is it about the way in which like capitalism drives you to literal madness? But then I don't know, the novel and the film have quite different messages anyway. I think for our version, why not make it a universal message that's not even rooted in a particular
the movie at all
conception, right? And just say that our movie is about if a cowboy and a monster fuck and they have a robot son, everything will go wrong. And some things, the forward march of progress has to stop somewhere.
Maybe we can just write that at the end.
That could be the subtitle.
Before
the credits.
Called
The Shining, or How I Learned That when a green eye and a giant
toy robot
/ tiny cowboy fuck it up
to make a robot,
to make a lovely envirobot. Then bad stuff will happen, and ghosts and ghosts will happen.
Yeah, that's important. Well, you're doing very well. We're on to round 2 already, sir.
Great, and I won that one.
It's not about winning or losing. It's not about
The Babadook. Oh, I love this movie. This is the one I've seen.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go.
It's reimagined as
Wes Anderson tragicomedy. I think it's not far off, to be honest. It is tragicomic already, really. The ending of the Babadook, not to spoil it to anyone, but he opens a hotel. And you'll never guess who's there. Voldemort runs it, just dressed as a normal flesh guy. Very weird. No, I think there's a kind of tragicomic element throughout a lot of horror, and the Babadook in particular. I mean, more tragic than comic for the most part.
Yeah, until we get to that end, it is.
Yeah. You imagine if there was if you caught
It was very funny how that kid looked.
How he screams all the time. Yeah. How his audio is mixed to be exactly piercing to one's ear. But I imagine if you caught up with S.E. Davis, I think she's called, her character at a later date, and we're just like, what was that like? She'd be laughing up, wouldn't she? She'd be like, oh, lol.
Now, to my recollection, that her career, though, is not quite as kooky necessarily.
She's an illustrator, isn't she?
I'm pretty sure that she works at a care home.
No. I don't think she does. I'm pretty sure she's an illustrator, and that's why the idea is that maybe she created the Babadook book.
She literally works at a care home.
I don't know about that. I think she does.
Because that guy has to cover her shift all the time.
Well, now that's the tragedy element.
She thinks she's an illustrator.
What I'm saying is basically it's the same film, but everyone's just shot symmetrically.
Side on.
Yeah. Everyone appears in the middle, and we'll have a weird bit where there's some Benjamin Britten playing while everyone just looks at the camera, but like you can't tell if they're really annoyed or laughing at you or both. That kind of inscrutable Wes Anderson protagonist. He normally likes to find women of ambiguous age who have ambiguous expressions, and then that is a character to Wes.
And you're saying that will be the Babadook
I'm
itself?
I'm saying the Babadook's going to be a 14-year-old girl in a huge hat that just sort of stares at the camera chewing gum, and then maybe says things like, oh, I knew you'd been working at that care home again. Or like, oh, that car crash, what a drag, and stuff like that. And then there'll be some quirky music, and the Babadook will have dungarees.
Oh, that's points galore, sir. You're so close to winning that sacred
I'm really
prize.
intrigued, but can I ask what the prize is?
You may not, sir.
That's disappointing.
In fact, if you ask again,
I can't.
You will be, not killed.
Oh.
That's why I said not
killed.
Well,
no, but I wouldn't have thought I was going to be killed unless you brought it up.
Oh, well, you haven't...
More for me.
You haven't been to many of our attractions yet, have you, sir? Oh, goodness.
Blair Witch Project, Blair Witch Project, the. And the genre is a buddy movie. Easy.
Go on, then.
It already is.
Tell me, sir.
The Blair Witch is just trying to hang out. The Blair Witch is just trying to vibe with the cool...
Now, in your version, will we be seeing more of the Blair Witch from her sort of invisible hideaway?
Let me answer that question.
Trying to like get in with them.
Aren't we already seeing a lot of the Blair Witch? But we're seeing the movie from her perspective, is what I'm going to say. Right. The film is a first-person
You're saying the Blair Witch is a camera?
The Blair Witch is the camera, yeah. And we'll show that we'll take footage from the original film and we'll just put, when they have like glasses over the camera, so it looks like you're seeing out, or like a bit of fringe. We will do both.
We'll do that thing where they look kind of in a mirror.
Yeah,
in an angle where it wouldn't normally show your reflection, but because it's a movie, it does. Yeah.
And so it will be about the Blair Witch trying to ingratiate themselves with those cool documentarians, because the Blair Witch, living in the woods, right? You've got a lot of time to think about life, and that's
too much.
That's probably exactly what you need if you're going to make a documentary, is someone who has that kind of insight, because they say like it's often the people the hermits, right, who go off away from society, who are able to then reflect back to us where we're going wrong, where we're going right. And so I think, although they're there to poach the Blair Witch originally, that's the original plot, this time they will go to shoot the Blair Witch.
With the tranquilizer?
No, it's a shotgun.
Oh,
and they will look the Blair Witch into their eyes. And remember, that's the camera's eyes. So there'll be a whole like metatextual Brechtian thing going on. And we'll do a thing where like a tear comes down the camera.
Like how you can see your tears in real life.
Yeah, like you can see them on a windscreen of your eyes. And then we'll have the first and only line of Blair Witch in the whole movie, which is just the single word, like that. And that the humanity of that moment will break the spell of violence that was over the documentarians. And they will see that this Blair Witch is not a creature to be feared, not some mere cryptid to be hunted.
Now, just a few choice moments. A few choice moments, because I like this.
Yep.
I can see it's heartfelt.
It's got potential, hasn't it, I think. Very low budget as well, because it is the same film.
The buddy movie, I'm thinking, is normally a little more humorous. Now, where are you going to get in some slapstick?
There's loads of slapstick. The rocks that the Blair Witch keeps leaving outside, people will be tripping over them.
Oh! Now, another question. The whole scene where there's a big handkerchief full of teeth.
Yeah.
Where's that fitting into your narrative?
Well, we'll just edit in some laughter to show to the audience that this is funny to them.
It's a funny handkerchief full of teeth. And
maybe what we'll do is we'll CGI. We don't have a lot of budget, but we can maybe CGI
there's
one
no
thing
budget.
We can CGI one comedy tooth, like maybe it's blue, or maybe it's like a mouse's tooth, or it's like an obvious like dinosaur's tooth,
right,
or rubber or something, or edible like a Pez sweet, so that people get it at home. They'll get that this is a comedy tooth bag. And then that bit at the end in the corner.
That was going to be my final question. Well done.
I guess it's quite ambiguous in the film, because you don't know what happens, right? Like that, we all assume because of our prejudice.
Maybe he was taking a leak.
That the Blair Witch was going to fuck that person up, that guy up, and kill that guy to death. But that's really saying more about us than it does about Bewitch. And so I think, we probably have this exact same scene, but because we'll have built up to it in a different way, we'll show that actually, like, in Wicked, where it's like, this is the real story of Elphaba. Right. Like, she pretended to melt in order to save the animals from the guy who was a goat, and going bad all the time in that very good song. We'll be saying, like, we're built to the same scene, but this time you'll have the new perspective, which is that they've just been fucking, and now he's pissing in the wall. because that's what he does.
That was their thing.
That's what he's into.
Oh, that's nice.
And so it's a culmination. It's a consummation, really, of that relationship.
I like that. That is very good. That's very good indeed.
I'm glad to hear that.
Unfortunately, you're 1 point shy of the second prize. So
you're joking.
On your way, sir, before I have to call the spooky security. Thanks very much for your custom, sir.
Damn it. Roll up, similarly shouts my character, Mr. McGrindle, a large and lumpy man covered in a treasure trove of costume ideas which were abandoned midway through completion. What is this shit, McGrindle? You query of the funny carnival man. He smiles broadly and you can see bits of old chicken meat all jammed up in his chunky molars.
Oh.
A simple game of wits, quoth McGrindle, with a glint in his obviously evil eyes. Sure, whatever, you say, feeling pretty over the whole thing already. Welcome to Mr. McGrindle's House of Fun. The game. This is a 3-challenge test of wits. It's going to be rough and it's going to test you to the limit. Fair. It tests all aspects, much like Dr. Kawashima before us, tests all aspects of the brain.
Of the brain?
So there's the thinking.
Is it the brain that you'll be testing as well?
Yeah,
cool.
absolutely.
Sorry, or what was it, McGrundle?
Mr. McGrindle of the Wicked House of Fun,
the game.
He'll be testing the guesstimation zone. He'll be testing the understandment cortex. And finally, the guesstimation zone again, but this time even more in-depth that part will be in this 3-challenge setup. So challenge 1, if you're ready. Are you feeling prepared?
Of course I am.
Challenge 1 called Guess the Weight.
Okay, here we go.
This is McGrindle talking, so I'll give you a taste of the voice. I don't want to commit to it completely because I'm trying to save the arts, right? So I'm not going to do any non-union acting work. I'm thinking of a pumpkin, says McGrindle, toothily. I can't emphasize enough. His teeth are really weird.
Oh yeah,
they are. It's not just the sort of layout of them, but there's something about the geography of each tooth which upsets you.
The topography of the tooth.
Yeah, that's nicely put because there's like crevices in there. Like serrated, but on the flat part.
Oh, no.
You ever seen that?
Like a relief map?
Yeah, or a cheese grater. Or a washboard, like you might wash clothes on in the old days.
That's a shame.
I am thinking of a pumpkin.
Yeah, you
whimpers McGrindle. Did I mention about his how his teeth were looking?
Yeah, we got that.
They're really odd. Please describe it and tell me how much it's weighing in kilograms, he says.
Well, I don't. Obviously, I can't know the pumpkin you're thinking of, McGrindle.
He stares blankly.
You
get the sense he's not invested in the conversation.
No,
he's sort of doing that thing at a cocktail party where you're eyeing up a hotter person to talk to.
Yeah.
And you're like looking at them. You're like,
McGrindle.
We'll have a chat later.
Eyes here. Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
Thanks, McGrindle. So obviously, I can't know.
Teeth?
Yes, I've seen horrific as the day
Look at me peel
is
my
deep.
gums off, and he peels them off like Velcro. And you can see a secret underneath.
I'm going to hazard a guess that you're thinking of a particularly atrocious pumpkin. Now,
Prejudice! Screams McGrindle.
It's not prejudice. It's very much based off of what we call an orgy of evidence, McGrindle. Now, its shape, it's not what you would think. It's far more angular than your average pumpkin,
like
although that does make it somewhat easier to weigh. It has rotted out. Now, that has taken away some of the weight.
McGrindle snorts.
McGrindle, are we weighing with or without the maggots inside?
Yes. Says
Good.
McGrindle
Good.
helpfully.
So I'm putting it on the Imago scales right now, and I'm thinking that this is easily weighing 42.5 kilograms. It is atrociously large.
That's awful.
Yeah, and it was hollowed out already, so you can imagine how much larger it has to be.
James and the Giant Peach of pumpkin.
James and the Giant Pumpkin.
That would be one name you could give
McGrindle and the Giant Pumpkin. That's what I'm thinking.
Challenge 2, he says, not acknowledging
Any idea? No, okay.
Understand.
Are you related to the guy who did the first quiz I did?
Wisdom. That's my son.
Understand the wisdom.
Yeah. I will share, he says, a thought. And then he does this with his teeth, like gnashing.
Like he doesn't know what a thought is.
Yeah. But no, he came really close. He went like each clock of his teeth came closer to you. What do you think? What do you think?
Well, it's threatening.
Yeah.
He's trying to intimidate.
And you have to work hard to understand the wisdom it has, my boy. he says, aging in the middle of the sentence.
Unexpectedly weaselly.
You understand the concept here, right?
No, it's good. Let's just go.
A ghost is never half as friendly on a Friday.
Right.
He says. Understand the wisdom. Off you go.
Well, the thing about such a sentence is that it encaptures what we call the duality of meaning. First of all, part of the wisdom is that it is literally true.
McGrindle's kex fell down and he's dick out now.
Right.
He's not jacking it or anything. He is flaccid. He's fully flaccid is what I'm getting at. But you just notice that and you can choose now to carry on with what you're saying and pretend it hasn't happened or address the, dare I say, elephant in the room. Because this guy is
shrunk like. McGrindle, for reasons we need not go into, I just and all that. Yes, and on and off. Could you just repeat the wisdom?
A ghost is never half as friendly on a Friday.
Never half as friendly on a Friday. There you go. So it's just
true. One of those phrases.
That is, they are never half as friendly on a Friday. Mm-hmm. Okay. But also part of what it means is it's about the way in which the spirit begins to crumble as time goes on. And also because Friday...
shouts McGrindle.
Because Friday...
fisting the air.
Is like the end of the traditional work week.
Right.
It's also a hugely anti-capitalist sentiment. Even though McGrindle himself, I'm sure, is a proud bigot and supporter of the line.
He invented the gig economy.
Oh, no.
Actually.
He patented the 0 hours contract.
Clever of him. Okay, says McGrindle. And again, you get the sense that your answer didn't matter to him.
Trousers up yet? Or
no. In fact, he steps out of them one leg
away.
at a time. And when he's on the second leg, he swirls it around his ankle a bit before just flicking it off.
Yeah,
and
probably in my direction.
It catches an old man on the corner of his face. And he's like, oh, what was that?
And he looks around to see this huge swing
He thinks
dick.
it's you. He thinks you did it. But
I have my trousers on.
He doesn't know.
Acknowledge?
Yeah.
Oh, that's convenient.
Today's zombie is tomorrow's zombie today, says McGrindle.
Today's zombie is tomorrow's zombie today.
Yeah. And what he wants you to do, I think, looking at him, you get the... because he's sort of staring at you now, like as if you just know conversationally in the kind of etiquette what comes next. And he's very much... his face is saying the ball is in your court, although a quick glance downwards would show that not to be the case. Because you know how the elderly are.
Yeah.
Then they're drooping. And they are sometimes engorged.
Firmly in his court.
Yeah. But you get the sense that, if you don't start...
I'm supposed to know. It's like call and response.
He's got that kind of vibe like, yes. And he's throwing it over to you. And what do you say?
And tomorrow's zombie is just Friday's ghost then.
Oh! And he cackles, but as he's laughing, he laughs so vigorously from the pelvis that everything starts sort of oscillating like a sine wave.
Wow. It's a lot more dick-based, this attraction, than it seemed from the sign.
It's really weird how that happens. The midday pumpkin rolls the furthest. And then there's brackets, he says. Worm horsepower? ? And that's the end of the brackets.
Yes.
And you're not sure if that one was one of the options or one of the ones he was asking, or if that's just something he says.
That's why I've said yes.
Could you understand me the wisdom? He asks. And there's a sadness about him now because as you look, you've built McGrindle up to be something that he's not fundamentally.
I haven't.
You saw him as an icon
I didn't.
of an age gone by, a kind of Mr. Megorium. I wonder why I keep talking about Mr. Megorium at the moment. I've only seen that film once, but it's
because of the word Imagiporium.
I guess it must be.
Which was shamelessly ripped off from
Dustin Hoffman is very weird in that film.
Yeah.
I think he's playing a nonce. Very weird. I think he's in a different film from what he thinks he's in.
I think he just is a nonce.
Oh, no. It's just saying that as a joke in case any of Hoffman's lawyers are listening.
There was that creepy thing he said.
I know. I don't want us to dwell on it because I remember it too well. You get the sense that McGrindle is a sort of faded and tragic figure, and that as you look at his wretched body, the skin kind of hanging off his old bones, and particularly the dick part of his old bones.
That's as far away from any bone.
You think, I need to throw this guy a rope, a little life jacket, and I'll engage him. And I'll tell him what the wisdom means. But, not for me, but for McGrindle. Because this could be the last bit of wisdom he ever hears.
McGrindle, I'm not going to patronise you.
Sorry?
I'm not going to patronise you, McGrindle. McGrindle, listen!
Yes?
I'm not going to patronise you. I know all too well that you are the keeper of such wisdom. And whatever you believe in your heart that to mean, that's a truth I could never, ever achieve. Please put some pants on.
And he hugs you,
begging you, step
with
away.
a sudden vitality. And
wouldn't believe.
He launches, but it's not a hug like a just arms hug. He does a hug like when a child jumps it at you, and it's like a baby monkey. Arms and legs are around you, and he is thrusting slightly.
And I made the mistake of wearing shorts today.
It's got to be said. There is penetration.
Oh, what? Where?
Just of the shoulder, of the trouser leg.
Oh, okay.
The shorts leg.
That I can live with,
Can
I
you?
suppose. Well,
I'm sorry.
not easily, but more easily than the alternatives.
Anyway, challenge 3, says McGrindle.
Oh, McGrindle, I really thought we were done.
And now he's...
I was supposed to be meeting some friends.
Now he's kneeling in front of you.
Oh, Christ.
And he's got a sort of naughty look on his face.
Oh, no.
And you can't imagine why.
I can. Oh, I can.
Guess what McGrindle is thinking about, he offers.
McGrindle, I'm going to save us both a lawsuit. I'm going to leave the tent, McGrindle.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
Thank you.
That'll be a tenner. Come back
that's
soon.
fine. Take it. Thank you.
It's your...
Oh no, that's weird. How strange.
That was a strange attraction.
Really odd.
I don't know where that McGrindle guy gets off on all this. I mean, I do quite clearly up your shorts leg, sadly. What's next, I wonder?
As soon as you step out of the tent, you hear another voice coming from the tent next door.
It's all tents, isn't it, around here?
Well, that's carnival vibes, isn't it? Whoa there, sir. It says, you look like a strapping young lad, but and do pardon my boldness here, but I can't help but notice no man nor mistress nor gender non-conforming companion upon your arm there.
Well, yeah, I'm here by myself.
Am I to take it that a fellow such as yourself has come to the carnival all on your lonesome, leaving such a lover behind? Or is it? Now there's an interesting sentiment, sir. Is it, good sir, as I gravely fear that you are, as you appear to be right now before me, loveless?
No.
Say no more, sir.
I'm dicking down on the daily.
Say no more. Mum's the word.
Guy's saying I'm a cock.
Mum's the word. You can be sure that. Now listen here. And mind your head as we step through here. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. Now listen here. The sign outside may say freak show, but you can be assured that's just a sign to lure in the sadistic punters. What we have here are 3 gravely misunderstood specimens, each as lovely as the last, and this is where you come in, my good man, each more single than the previous.
It sounds deeply immoral.
So just rest your rump there, that's a good boy, and hear them out, and you never know, you might see something takes your fancy. Trouble is, they're all just a little bashful.
Well, that won't be a problem.
They're all just a little bashful. That's
right. I don't want to...
So what they're going to do, they're not going to tell you their name. They're just gonna read out to you what they consider to be their dating profile.
Okay.
And if you can figure out who they are,
I get a prize.
Then you're gonna get a prize.
Can I just check? I don't want the prize of dating any of these.
That's okay. People. You're gonna get a prize.
It's a different prize from that. To be clear,
it is a prize.
Could I get that in writing?
Don't you worry, sir. Are you ready? You sat comfortably.
Sure.
Yep. Out you come, number 1. Sorry, can we stop the music? I'm a fun-loving guy and a snappy dresser.
Oh, okay.
An older gentleman, usually quite reclusive, but when I do go out and party, I am sure
Very cool.
to party hard. Not afraid of my feminine side.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go.
So often...
Sorry.
Sit down.
I've got an appointment with...
Sit down!
Oh, God. Sorry, McGrindle.
Not afraid of my feminine side. So often seen wearing a bit of makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Love kids and hope to have several one day. Now, I do live underground, most notably at the bottom of a well.
Oh, no.
That's hidden in a system of boggy sewers. But don't let that put you off. Really love kids. Just love them.
You said that
previous partners have said that I am a comforting lover.
Oh, that's quite nice.
With the ability to lull you to sleep with an almost terrifying ease. I don't often open up, but when I do, oh man, it is a sight to behold. Really can't stress enough that I absolutely bloody love kids.
You said that.
Have on occasion been accused of being an ancient evil. Love kids, love the fair, seek similar.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, thanks for opening up. I love to hear your truth.
Thank you.
Not for me.
And who do you reckon that was? So just between you and me.
I wouldn't like to venture.
Just between you and me, you simply have to.
I would say it's probably Pennywise the Dancing Clown.
Oh, it is.
I don't want to see
Pennywise.
No, you don't need to call him.
That's right. Yeah, that's a yes.
No,
that's a yes.
It wasn't Pennywise. I'm taking down.
Yeah, about 6 o'clock. He said about 6 o'clock.
I said nothing like that, Penny.
That's all right.
Have a good one.
He's so pleased. You've made his day. You've made his day.
I guess I can go then if we.
Sorry, number 2. No, it's all right.
I can't say all three of
as
these.
you said, you're dicking down every night. You can have one every night of the week. That's okay. They're all right with that.
Fine.
They're also happy. They're also happy for a joint situ. If you're.
Yeah, I bet they are. I bet they are.
Second, number 2. Oh, here they come.
I screamed at the number 2 person.
He didn't mean that.
I meant in a good way.
Didn't mean that. Yeah.
Two.
Like you go ahead.
What a great look.
Widower in the midst of a renaissance of sorts.
Okay.
Seeking a replacement for my long dead wife.
Oh no.
Haven't really been paying attention to popular culture for the last 5,000 years or so. So not what you might call a movie buff, but always keen to ingest new things.
Okay.
Hobbies include organ retrieval, plague bringing, and opening my mouth wider than you'd hope.
Oh, very cool.
Definitely more of a dog person.
Fair enough.
Very body positive, but my tastes are really quite particular. So please don't take offence if you're not my type, which is currently a near replica / actual reincarnation of my dead wife. Now, you may be called upon now, just now and then, to partake in rituals involving the sacrifice of living people. Yeah, although I do have an actual slave, so no dishes and laundry for you. Have on occasion been accused of being an ancient evil.
That's like the first guy.
Bald.
Yeah, have me up till there. Is it Imhotep?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Actually, I don't know the mummy films very well.
Yeah, that was tomorrow. Tomorrow, yeah.
No. I don't do
pennies
bald.
tonight. Unless you could swap,
No, it's fine.
No. I think he just.
I'll
sort it out
call
between you.
You don't call me.
Sort it out between you. He said.
I don't have Facebook.
Way.
I don't have it.
That's all right. Neither do they.
Okay, cool.
Right, we've only got one more.
I really do have to go. I've got some big attractions to get to.
I would not piss off this one.
Oh, well, that's not the dynamic I look for.
No. Look,
I don't want to be threatened.
No. They're lovely. But it's just.
But you wouldn't piss them off.
Not me personally, no.
But I could.
That's just my.
I'd be fine if I did.
I'm not. Well, I couldn't say either way.
Well, I feel like you should be able to say definitely I would be fine if I rejected.
No, but we all have our bad days, don't we? We've all got our bad days.
Yeah, we all do, but we wouldn't just murder a prospective lover.
No one said anything about murder.
Right.
No one said anything about... And I think you'll find that's key.
Okay,
here they come. I too am a widower with a powerful lust for life.
That's good.
And a strong sense of moral purpose.
Good on you.
Currently living on borrowed time and looking to make the most of it. Many people find me morose, bordering on totally joyless.
Oh, no.
But once you get to know me, I'm a child at heart, really.
That's good.
I love puppets, although just the one, really. Puzzles, and most of all, games.
Me too.
Boy, I just love
Have you played Spider-Man?
designing games. The higher the stakes, the greater the fun. That's what I say. I'm not into drug addicts, domestic abusers, serial rapists, health insurance salesmen, judges, photographers, doctors.
So what was that last one? Photographers.
That
just seems a bit different from
doctors,
rapist.
or cops, as well as a whole host of other people. It is honestly highly unlikely that I will find you suitable. But don't let that stop you applying. I'm an inventive man. I'm very hands-on. So if you're seeking a practical partner, then look no further. Personally, I'm looking for a new partner in, well, not crime per se, just legally dubious and, in my eyes, entirely justified acts of abduction and machine-based murder. Aquarius.
Oh, good. Well, that last bit wins me right back around. Is it Tobin Bell playing the character Jigsaw? What's Jigsaw the guy's name?
John Kramer.
John Kramer,
Yeah. John?
No.
I'm busy. It's a big fat yes.
Busy that day,
It's
John.
a big fat yes.
John, I'm a cock.
In fact, he liked you the best.
I'm a fucking
So he said,
cock.
you can go tonight. Pennywise, he shoved you back to Friday. Yeah, no, well,
Don't be pissed off
hold
about
off,
it, Penny.
Hold off. Yeah, no, I can pop your mouth away. Pop your mouth.
Oh, God.
Oh, you've made all three of them very happy.
What do I win then?
What, three charming lads.
Oh, but you said I didn't win a date with them.
I didn't say that, actually. I
thought
didn't
you did.
No, that's got to read the small print, haven't you? Oh. Anyway, John will see you tonight at 6.
Cool, I guess.
Bye.
Yeah. Oh, I can't stay
You step outside of the tent, excited for an evening of passionate romance later that night.
I'm not.
So in a daze are you that you don't even see that you have walked straight across the path and into the tent of the fortune teller.
Oh, I love these people.
Opposite. As you walk into a very darkened space, you see her sat behind a characteristic crystal ball.
Very cool.
She looks up at you.
Very vibey.
And she says, "Ah!
Whoa. She's got energy.
Come in, and never fear. The future's never far, my dear.
Oh, she's rhyming.
The spirit realm holds knowledge true and wants to pass it on.
To you.
To
me, yeah.
But careful, dear.
Okay.
For what you wish. When dropping coins into my dish.
Why have you got a coin dish?
Clouds to you.
You want to get Monzo
Union
off.
rules. Though clouds to you, my ball is clear and cares not what you want to hear.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Ben Shapiro, you telling me?
So take a breath and take it deep.
I did.
As in your skin the ghosts do seep. And once you feel we're good to go, just tell me what you want to know.
Fuck, okay. Cool. What, anything?
Yep.
Can it be, does it have to be about me? Can it be quite
What was that?
general?
You'd like to know what sort of ghost you are?
Oh, I guess
certainly,
that was the
my
root
dear.
of the question in a way. I was going to ask about the election.
Certainly, my dear.
Can we do the election after?
Take a seat.
Sure, we'll do.
Take a seat. Thank you very much. Now,
where's the coin dish? Or do I pay after?
You pay after. That's
Lovely.
okay.
I appreciate that.
Now, there is a counterpart of mine who asks questions here at the fair, but he is a liar and a charlatan. He will never give you an answer and you'll leave dissatisfied and indeed unsatisfied.
I think I know who that was. I think I met that guy earlier.
Here you will get answers.
Asking about Largo?
Don't speak of Largo.
Okay. Yeah, he's done some bad shit.
Now I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to give you 3 options each time.
Okay.
And each time you must rank.
Oh, I have to rank them?
You must rank the options.
Fucking hell. Are you going to keep track of this, you old
I'm
crone?
going to keep track of them, don't you
Fuck
worry.
you. Sorry, I just had a bad experience in the previous tent. I'm a bit riled.
I'll get my son Pennywise on you.
Oh no, you're fucking joking.
He'll fucking...
Yeah, I bet.
He will
I've
fuck you
heard,
up.
I have heard. Okay.
Now, question.
Yeah, on you go.
Number 1.
Jog on.
When others are not around,
Yeah.
you like to Mess with their things. It's funny to you to move the things of others.
It's quite funny.
Just be yourself, as you cannot do that when they're around.
Okay.
Or C, you simply like to be on the floor, mostly being sad.
Ooh. I think, to be honest, it's ABC.
ABC?
Yeah, it is, because you're right. What's your name, sorry? Mrs.
Yes.
Mrs. what?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just going to say, I think it is funny to move the things of others. I think you were quite right when you said that.
That's not me. That's not my opinion.
Oh, okay. But you wrote the questions.
I think it's rather cruel.
Oh, well, I feel a little judged.
But here we go. Your perfect birthday present would be...
It's a month away, my birthday, so this is...
An end to the practice of wildlife photography.
Could be useful.
To you, the perfect present would be a television, preferably untuned. Or...
Screen only.
Would you just like a bit of slime and or goop?
Slime and or goop. I think your colleague was asking about goop.
Slime and or goop.
Yeah, I think your colleague mentioned that earlier. So that is kind of in my head. But I feel like this might be, when you sort of recognise the tools of advertising being used against you.
No.
So you sometimes are like,
I'm
really fancy a
immune to
Coke, but why is
advertising.
that? And it's you're like, oh, well, I saw an advert.
I never want a Coke.
Oh, right. Well, I'm just saying for me, I sometimes do.
Weak of the mind.
I'm not interested in you
Weak
or
of
your
the
life or
mind.
opinions. So you can keep that to yourself or I'll fuck you up.
Oh, yeah. Penny.
No. It's
Penny.
fine. Pennywise.
We've got another
She's
one.
joking. We're having a great time here, aren't we, Mrs.?
Yes.
Yeah, Fortune. I think it's going to be... I'd love the television untuned.
Yes.
I'd love that. What was the first one again?
It was an end to the practice of wildlife.
No, I love that practice. It's going to be BCA, I think. BCA, Bravo Charlie Alpha. If that's all right.
I've popped that in.
Okay, is that the... Are we done?
Oh, no.
And this is going to tell me what kind of ghost I am.
Speaking of Christmas,
We won't.
are you a religious entity? Your only god is Prozac, and he constantly lets you down.
Wow. Heavy.
Mother Gaia is your lord, and she's been nothing but bounteous. Or you're something of an abomination, personally.
Oh, well, that's not the case. I mean, it's clear to me that you did write these because they all come from a very sort of particular narrative voice, Mrs. Whatever your name was.
Yes.
And I feel like you're projecting a little bit onto me. I mean, I haven't studied a lot of this kind of quiz
I
making.
get this straight from the ghosts.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you fucking do.
The ghosts.
This one's offended
The
me.
ghosts are well attuned to sarcasm.
I'm going to go Gaia, Prozac, Abomination, BAC, back.
Interesting. Very interesting.
We done or?
What would you look for in a romantic partner?
Okay.
More than anything, you want someone willing to respect your privacy. You want someone with a mischievous spirit, or perhaps more simply, just a mischievous spirit.
That'd be good, like Peeves.
You would like a slime lady who is as sad as you. Brackets.
A slime lady.
Brackets, impossible.
Oh, right, okay. It's got to be the mischievous spirit for sure. The slime lady's going bottom of the list, let me tell you. And then whatever the other stupid one was.
Yes, we get a lot of bigots in here.
It's not
don't you
bigotry.
worry.
I'm not interested in slime or slime people.
If you could send one message to the listeners and or carnival goers out there,
What do you mean by listeners?
What would
Are
it-
the people listening
what
to our
would
private
it be?
session? Fucking hell, chill out, love.
would it be vote?
Yeah. Is that it?
Would it be you want your slimy life to end?
Again, it's not that one. I feel like there's such a specific... Are you okay? Are you going through something?
Yes.
Okay, are you a slimy gal? Because there are creams you can get.
I'm not slimy, but I don't judge those who slime.
I don't judge either, but it's clear that it's not working out for this
clearly do.
person.
You
They
clearly
sound
do.
like they're suicidal. I just want to step in and say life's worth living.
And some of our punters are too.
Well, I'm not surprised after 10 minutes with you.
Or
Tedious old hag.
the The climate crisis is the greatest threat humanity has ever faced and will ever face.
Ooh, will ever face. I mean, I guess in a way. Let's go C, A, B. I'm putting again. If you'd have told me that how many slime questions there were, we could have skipped across them and just said put those always at the bottom.
They didn't
because to me
always
they don't
come
interest
at the bottom.
me.
That's the interesting
No, but I'm
thing.
saying when I'm ranking them, just don't
But
bother asking.
even
them to
in
me.
your rankings, they didn't
They
always
probably
come
did.
bottom.
They probably did, unless you've been fiddling them.
Now, what I need you to do is to simply speak for 2 or 3 uninterrupted minutes
While you do some little calculus.
while I just have a quick chat with the ghosts
Oh, wow. Fucking hell.
as to who you might be.
Okay, well, let me just reflect on this experience if that's okay. If that's the kind of thing I can vocalise.
Please do.
I guess when
Try to do it without any of your prejudice that you've been spouting so
there's
far.
no prejudice over
Hateful
here.
bile that's been
Yeah, there's not.
pouring
Why
from
don't you
your
shut
lips.
up and chat to the ghosts for a bit? When I arrived at the fortune tellers,
I know about ghosts. But
Tent.
it's a fucking prick, isn't it?
sorry, what
Ooh, yes.
was that a ghost?
Ghosts.
Wow, fuck! It looked like you were just whistling off nonsense in the corner.
That's your mistake.
Very
isn't it?
weird. I've always been intrigued by fortune tellers and fortune telling as a concept, and this is my first experience of it. Obviously, I've seen it on TV, and I've seen some of the kind of lazy tropes. It's often tied up with a kind of anti-traveller rhetoric. These fortune tellers who turn out to be like duplicitous or evil, or in Drag Me to Hell, there's a old lady who does a curse and then she's got no teeth now anymore, unfortunately, and it's just gums, and she does just gum you in your own car. And I've got to say it's been a letdown.
Oh, the ghosts they've finished their
Oh,
deliberations.
good. Yeah, no, I'd finished my point as well. Just to
good.
reiterate my final comment, it's been a letdown, this experience between you and I, and it's been bad, and I don't like what's happened.
That's okay.
Is there a kind of ghost
You'll
that-
be dropping into the little dish anyway.
No, I probably won't. 'Cause I guess it's up-
we've got another one.
Pennywise, honestly, try me, mate, because I'm dating Jigsaw and he'll fuck you up. Imhotep is going to get you. Big style.
Imhotep's very much on Penny's side.
As if.
They don't like because Jigsaw wants to trap them both. You see, he doesn't approve.
Whatever.
He doesn't approve.
Whatever. Come on. What ghost am I?
Listen, so there
Obviously
were
a good one.
3 well-disguised options as to which ghosts that you could be.
One of them's a sad, slimy ghost, so I'm not that one. Let's skip that.
One of them,
Let's just not bother with that
the
one.
one you are least like.
Is it a sad, slimy ghoul?
It's the sad slime
no!
monster.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I didn't see that coming.
You had little to no affinity with the slime.
I hate it.
That's often, may I say, the same with the racists.
No, it's not. I imagine they're super into the slimes.
You were very like, though not the most like,
Yeah.
a cryptid.
Ah, I like that. I see
a
myself
sort
as
of
cryptid.
earth-dwelling little thing.
Yeah.
Frightened of the outside world.
No, that's not what cryptids are like. Cryptids live in the outside world.
Pretty monstrous.
You think the Loch Ness Monster's afraid of the outside world?
The world outside that which he inhabits.
Well, yeah, he lives in a whole loch.
Yeah.
What
but
more do you need?
Never breaching.
He goes to Lake Windermere. We heard it in the news.
Sometimes he pops across all over the gap.
Big.
And the one that you are most like, perhaps the evilest of all,
Well, that's one
the
start.
cruelest, the most mischievous,
Mischievous is
was
not
the poltergeist.
cool. Yes, I have got big poltergeist energy, I've been told.
That will be £15.
You're not going to go into any of the, any sort of fortune element about it at all? Because it did say fortune
What do
telling.
you fucking want from me? I've told you what sort of ghost you are.
Right, what do I do with that information, though? How do I reflect that back
That's
into my...
up to you. Maybe going, have you spoken to McGrindle? He's the
I've spoken to him
He's
enough.
the wisest
He got his
one
dick
here.
out.
Yes.
That says a lot.
Oh,
He's
you
the
were
wisest
lucky.
one.
Wow,
Fucking
goodness.
hell. All right,
Well,
I'll be off.
If
I'll be
he
off.
got his dick out, he'll definitely tell you what that means.
And I leave the tent, I think, not even looking back. And I certainly, and let me just put a clear full stop after this, do not drop any money in the house.
Put it in the tin, you
And I ignore
fucking
her.
bastard.
It's time to be honest with yourself, you think. This whole carnival, it's been a waste of time. You agreed to come here for the vibes, for the memories, for the ween. But you know what? It's been lacking on all counts. Just as you're about to storm out of the great carnival, you notice a single, shabby tent pitched behind the pungent portaloos. A handwritten cardboard sign says, "The story time, time out, time story in sitting tent." What have I got to lose, you think? And you head on in. Inside, let me tell you, it's terribly foul. I don't have time to explain exactly how, but whatever you're thinking, double that. A single torch beam picks out a Nokia 3410 resting face down on a kind of cupboard which has been left in roughly the middle of the quote-unquote room. The phone starts ringing as you take your seat, and woo answers itself. A voice on the speakerphone says, "Are you sitting comfortably, Declan? Then I'll begin."
Fuck.
And this is what it said. "Love in the Sewers" by Sakura, I think, _freefall. Part 1. Victor Hugo. The man crept through the sludge, squinting his eyes to see through the gloom. He was stout and not very tall, with a presumably white beard that was caked with grime. The lantern he carried was dimly casting a glow about the dark tunnel, with the only other light source being occasional barred gates overhead. The man had the sure but quiet demeanour of one who has spent far too long in a domain he is not accustomed to, only to adapt to the conditions with the passage of time. He felt around himself, trying to drown out the whispers, the ghosts that constantly followed him.
God, they're everywhere.
He knew their names by heart, but he did not think them.
And this is Victor Hugo who's travelling through this mud.
Yeah, he only really
hell.
pushed them to the back of his mind, tried to distance himself from the guilt.
You wonder how his life was so interesting, but his books were so dull.
So long. This murderer, this scoundrel, this literary genius, what was his name? Well, it was Victor Hugo.
Yeah.
I don't know if the author intended that to be a reveal, because it was not. He brought them into the world only to destroy them with his pen strokes. They had lives given to them by ink on paper, and when he took that life away, he realised they would never leave him. Oh, he'd paid the price for it, many times over, both in the ever-present soreness in his legs, born from that dreadful day that the stranger had appeared in front of him and bashed his kneecaps with a serrated dagger before taking one of the constant voices, the littlest one, and carrying him out of the sewers very much alive.
God.
It was strange, but the old man had seen far stranger. The other price was his curse. The curse to dwell forever in the dankest, and that's not in the internet sense, sewers of the world. Oh, those 40 pages seemed such a whim at the time, but now they are only pain. Pain and suffering. There was one bright spot in the poor man's life, however. It was when he met another sewer dweller, a younger man in a theatre mask named Eric, but often called Phantom, who had the voice of an angel and the tongue of a devil.
Victor liked that, didn't he?
He was culture to Hugo's chaos, suavity to his coarseness, and he'd swept the old French writer away on his golden boat and steam-filled lair where the water ran as clean as it ever did in the musky place. They'd enjoyed a few lovely months together, discussing death and life and the arts before that dreadful day.
All this in the sewers?
Where they had a terrible disagreement.
Oh, no.
Pitting their muses
Over
against
what?
each other, going for low blows. Hugo defending Fantine, the golden-haired girl he created, against Eric's long-lost first love, an opera singer named Christine. They fought and argued and sniped and grumbled until Victor Hugo decided he'd had enough. When he walked out the door, he vowed never again to set his eyes on Eric the Phantom.
Oh, no.
He lived months, maybe years, maybe more, alone again. Nothing but the rats and ghosts for company. Wishing for a pen, anything to write something with.
Why didn't he just pop up to the surface, get a pen?
And that's when he walked right into his life. Ambiguous. He was a serial killer. And Hugo...
Eric the Phantom?
No, we've moved on. It's confusing.
This is a new character.
A new child. Hugo was a writer, both with some sort of a body count. Of course they were soulmates. His name was Pennywise. And he had a taste for violence not matched by any of Victor's darkest fantasies. Yet somehow they made it work. And while his relationship...
It's nice. It's like when, Tories and Labour voters are friends.
And while his relationship with Eric was based off walking on eggshells and carefully planned digressions, Pennywise wanted none of that. He was rough, unapologetic, harsh, and unrelenting.
Dicking down with no one's
honest,
business.
But mysteriously vague. And the two felt matched like a knife to a whetstone. Occasionally, even so, Hugo remembered...
Now, when they said whetstone...
They meant fucking.
Did they... But
They didn't do anything clever.
Oh.
No, there was an H.
There was an H.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Hugo remembered his days with Eric almost wistfully, but he had Pennywise, and he much preferred the sadistic clown over what he'd had with the masked singer, which makes it sound like the TV break. But he could not deny there was something about the golden boats and silver candelabras that he had enjoyed. A taste of high culture was rare down in the gloom of the sewers. However, the rough, coarse demeanour of the clown suited him, and he loved his darker-than-night humour and bone-chilling anecdotes. And he was an excellent kisser.
Oh, wow.
Hugo
that helps.
carried on through the sewers, inching his kneecapless legs forward and forward, knowing that the love of his life was waiting at the dead-end pipe they called home.
So, is there any chance of winning a prize in this tent? Yeah.
Sorry, there's no one in the tent. It's just you and a Nokia 3410.
Sorry, I'm just down the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yep. Just wondering because
Eric liked to
this
think
introduction's
of himself a man of culture.
This introduction's been going on for a while. I was just wondering when the game or whatever starts.
Oh, yeah. It's coming right
Yep.
up. Just take your seat.
Cool.
Just take your little seat. Part 2, Eric, the Phantom of the Opera.
Sorry,
liked to think of himself a man of culture.
How many parts total?
Just the 4 parts. A man of culture, a lover of beauty and refinement, not much suited to the gross, disgusting reek of the sewers, where he chose to build his lair. Sure, he had rose petals, but that paled in comparison to what he'd lost. First, his love, Christine, a singer with a beautiful voice, who left him for a rich young lad, just because Eric tried to kill a few people in the opera house. Doesn't mean he deserved to be
Who
dumped,
among
did
us?
It? And next was the old French poet and writer Victor Hugo, who'd understood him in a way nobody else could. Oh, the fight. The terrible fight, inflamed by passion and righteous fury. He'd spat venom at the venerable old man, after he dared say that a girl he'd known of, Fantine was her name, was a better person than dear sweet Christine. It was his job and honour to defend his champion, even at the cost of the love of his life, Victor Hugo.
Yes.
Ever since Victor Hugo had limped out of the door, somehow the man had lost his kneecaps. Eric felt more lonely than ever before. Worse were the rumours that Hugo, the old bother, had found another love. A serial killer with a clown's face. How Eric envied that man for stealing the hand and heart of his own flame. He wasn't going to let it go easily. "Who's there?" rang out the voice that had haunted Eric's dreams for so long. It's me, Pennywise," Eric replied.
Oh.
"I thought you'd be on the hunt," came the curious response. I decided, to come home early, take the day off." "All right then, mon amour, do come in." It was going perfectly. Immediately, Hugo swept him into a kiss. Oh, how he'd missed kissing him. It was rougher than he'd recalled. Perhaps Pennywise was a harsher lover, but still glorious at the same time. Part 4. Part 3, I mean. Pennywise.
Oh, okay.
After a hard day of slaughtering innocent people, Pennywise's
it's tough
mind
work, but someone's got to do it.
was full of thoughts of returning home to his lover, a Frenchman, Victor Hugo, doomed to live without kneecaps in the sewers forever.
Hello, sorry, is anyone there?
Yeah.
Just wondering.
You're interrupting the story, lad.
Yeah, no, it's just that the story it likes to go over old ground quite a lot.
It's got to make sure that the audience have stayed with us.
I understand who's in the story. It's just
Victor Hugo.
He's
no
there.
Kneecaps.
Pennywise, Eric the Phantom,
living in the sewers.
Yeah, I remember. Is there anything for me to do here? Because otherwise, I might just go.
It's the story time, time story and sitting.
Yeah,
10.
I've had a good sit down. I'm honestly as well rested as possible. I'm probably going to go.
Pennywise? Wait, what? It's not. I swear it's not what it looks like, stammered the husky voice. There are 2 of you? How is this? I'm the real Pennywise, I swear, he said.
Like Mickey Mouse.
Feeling a rush of fear and worry. The other man responded in kind. Nuh-uh, I'm the real Pennywise. Well then, murmured the old Frenchman, Victor Hugo, scratching his chin. There's only one possible explanation. There is one imposter among us. Now, how to tell who is faking?
Pennywise sus!
Suddenly, the fake Pennywise ripped off his costume to reveal a gem-covered mask before drawing a pirate cutlass. I admit I am Eric, Phantom of the Opera, who's loved you and missed you every day since we parted. Eric, what? I'm over you, we broke up. I regret every word of what I said. I love you more than even Christine, and I'll fight this clown for your heart if need be. Then we can fight, Pennywise said, pulling a butcher's knife from his pocket. Come at me, brother! Don't know why Pennywise talks like that. Part 4. Batman.
No. There's
Wayne.
No room.
Bruce Wayne wasn't in the sewers for a reason. He'd simply taken a wrong turn and gotten lost down there, and there was no hope of finding his way out. A very attractive man was down there as well. The French writer, Victor Hugo.
Fuck.
The man had a sad expression and a flamboyant cape. He was hunched in a dry pipe, looking hopeless. Are you okay? He asked. No, just leave me, the man groaned. Are you hurt? Look, I'm Batman. It's my job to make sure you're not hurt. Unless you're a supervillain, that is.
Oh,
I'm not hurt.
Quite the opposite.
I'm not hurt. The only wounded thing is my heart.
Oh, no, I fucking knew it.
Bruce felt strangely attracted by the dramatic stranger. His voice was melodic and reedy, and Bruce blushed in spite of himself. Who broke your heart? I cannot speak his name. I'm ruined. I'm sorry. Do you want me to, talk to you? What's your name? My name is Eric. There's some call me the Phantom of the Opera. Strange, I know. I've heard stranger, Bruce said. It was true. His nemesis was a guy named Joker, of all things. Who are you, kind traveller? Asked Eric. Oh, I'm Bruce. Bruce Wayne, more commonly known as the Batman. Why are you so kind to me? Because you looked sad and lonely, he said. Oh. And before he could stop himself, the words, and also, you're really hot.
Oh, that happens to me sometimes.
Hot? Yeah. Can you kiss me? The request was in a quiet voice, and Bruce knew for a fact that he wouldn't be able to say no to this. He kissed Eric right on the lips, feeling warmth spreading through him. Maybe this would be the start of something beautiful. Hope you enjoyed that.
No, I honestly felt no resolution.
£10 in the cash tin.
Yeah, you can. I gave it to the fortune teller lady. You can borrow it from her.
Bye.
You turn your back on the carnival that had left you a panting, haunted wreck of a man. You cross the threshold back onto the dirted path that led you to this wretched place, and take your first steps back towards your life before all this. A life you're not sure you remember clearly. You go to check the time on your grandfather's watch, the watch that had played such a pivotal role during your time at the carnival. That may well be the only reason you're still alive.
Yeah, so true.
But it's not there.
Oh, fuck.
Turning around, you see nothing but marshland stretching on into the mist-shrouded horizon. The carnival as absent as that oh-so-important artifact of time.
Oh, fuck.
And you wonder to yourself, resuming your journey back along the road, if maybe a little bit of you has gone too. There's always next year. Though what for, you never quite decide.
This
has been a month of highs and lows. A month of terrors and frights. A month of fun and games.
Ghouls and phantoms.
Ghouls and phantoms for sure. It's been Spooktober. From the very first of the month, that was the 1st of October.
Until the very first of the month
after.
after.
The very 1st of November.
Indeed, the
second now, because we've been going for over midnight. We've toured a whole range of what's on offer in the Hallosphere, and we hope that you out there, the listener, you've taken a little something from it, and maybe learned a little bit about who you are as well. Until next time, in fact, we've got some things to plug. Until next time, we've got things to plug first.
Yeah.
We've got a Patreon over at patreon.com/shamecity. And it's what funds all this, isn't it?
Have we got one? We have indeed, yeah.
We just put up some really questionably legal writings of Declan's in the form of a creepypasta.
Read voluntarily and happily by Isaac.
Not happily, but as an actor, you perform the material you give. And that was an episode that went up just the other day. That was pretty fun. We've got 50 bonus things that you get, and it's the 1st or 2nd of the month. So this is really the best time to sign up because it won't charge you. So you get a whole month for free, effectively. Wow. And if you cancel your sub before you charge,
we will come to your house.
Personally,
we will Pennywise you into an early November grave.
Allegedly. But no, do consider signing up. It really helps us out, not only financially, although that is obviously an important aspect, but it makes us feel this crushing sense of obligation that really keeps us going when times are rough.
Really, really does.
When we're sitting there on the sofa trying to work out what Mr. McGoogle comes up with next, whatever he was called.
Mr. McGrindle.
when
Isaac's thinking just which character in this week's episode he's going to have whip their knob out.
You just think, I'm doing this for them. And it's like how I imagine
Homer,
the army must
Homer
feel.
with his do it for her.
I've just got all 10 of our patrons' faces framed. And we do it for you guys, for sure.
Oh, we do it for the rest of you as well.
Yeah,
but
less.
not as much.
Definitely less. We do love you as well. But there are ways of helping out the show if you're not financially solvent at the moment.
We've all been there.
We're all there. For example, chief amongst them is telling a friend about the show. Word of mouth being, in 2020 and during the pandemic, remaining best of mouth, maybe more than ever before.
Yeah,
because it's all we have.
Bomb is having its second coming.
Absolutely. And if you are, because there's so few things coming out of mouth during lockdowns, because everyone's
that aren't
just
virus.
Yeah, you may as well just start bellowing about the show. If you introduce one new person to it, then like the coronavirus, as long as we can get that R number of show transmission above one,
way
then
above
we'll
one.
be exponentially breeding around the world.
The tier 3 lockdown that will be us having slightly more listeners.
It would be huge. We would appreciate it, and we hope that you partake of that small task. There are even smaller ones, reviews, for example.
Reviews are very good.
Click the link in the show notes, takes you straight there.
Following us on the Twitter at Shame City Gang is a big one. Emailing us any of your thoughts, feelings, suggestions, or
stuff to
just
look at.
little mind nuggets. Just send them over to TAS at shame.city.
We've got a Discord where it's been popping off of late.
It's been absolutely banging in the Discord.
And I won't say that this is going to be a scheduled occurrence of any regularity, but we had a games night the other night with like 8 people, and we played Among Us and Jackbox 7, and it was all streamed in the Discord. So if you're there, you're more than welcome to join in. And
please do.
If people join, then we will make more of a thing of like
shame.city/Discord.
Yeah, it's all good fun. Lastly, there was one more thing I had to say that was so important, but it's completely slipped my mind. Here's an idea I pitch to you now.
Go on then.
We're, at least I know I am, and a couple of other people are going to be staying up all night on Tuesday to watch the election. So we might hang out in the Discord. We might do a bit of streaming on Tuesday night, maybe.
Sure.
Something like that. Some games, some chat, stuff like this to take our minds off the crumbling future of the world that we live in. And until, next week's going to be a bit different, right? Because normally this is a very academic show, and we've spent a lot of time in the Imagino space, the Imagiporium. I think Declan's doing an anecdote next week, so that'll be something to look forward to.
I'll just make sure to experience something in the next 6 days.
And normal content now for the rest of the year, where normal means,
no
whatever
spooks.
it has done so far.
Yeah.
Until then, I've been Isaac, you've been.
I've been Declan.
Happy Halloween 2020 to all, and to all, a good night.
Stay spooked.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder of my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you. bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, oh Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be fonder, my new home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. The bare necessities of life will come to you.